So let's talk about some of the differences between THC and CBD. First, vocabulary. We'll be using cannabis as the main way to refer to substances in this module because cannabis refers to all products you can really get from the cannabis plant. But you might hear more colloquially referred to as weed, which typically refers to products higher in THC and used to get high. THC and CBD are known as phytocannabinoids, or the chemical substances from a cannabis plant, and they mimic endocannabinoids, which our bodies produce naturally to help us deal with pain, stress, or threats to the immune system. So, what's the difference? In lay terms, THC is what actually makes you feel high when using cannabis, whereas CBD doesn't alone give you those psychoactive components. That's in part because THC interacts with your brain and your spinal cord, whereas CBD binds mostly with your immune and gastrointestinal systems. THC also does things like stimulate appetite, and sometimes can even be used to just spasms. What's really important to note, though, is THC is the psychoactive component that gets you high when using cannabis. And the percentage of THC over time has gone way up substantially. Forget going back as far as the 70s. The weed that we know today tends to have a much higher THC content than even the weed from the mid to late 90s. This chart shows that difference. There was about an average of 4% THC content in THC products in 1995, compared to just under 15% in 2019, according to the National Institute on Drug Abuse and the DEA. The rise of legalized cannabis from dispensaries has also led to and contributed to an increase in really high THC content cannabis products available on the market. So, why does this matter? Well, for people that choose to use weed, the CBD to THC ratio and how cannabis is consumed can have vastly different experiences, impacts on the body, and outcomes. For instance, the way someone takes weed is going to have a pretty big impact on things like how long those psychoactive effects last, how fast it kicks in, and how the body breaks them down. Edibles, for instance, tend to get people more high because they're more potent than other forms of weed. Less heat is required to use them, and they're metabolized in the liver versus the lungs. If you choose to use weed, and that is if, knowing how you would take it and what that means is crucial in weighing the risk and the impact.